Okay, so adding and subtracting decimals. Very, very similar to adding and subtracting whole numbers, but this time we've got a decimal point in here. So the method we're going to be using is the column method, because we need to make sure that each place value is in the correct columns. So let's have 2.8 add 3.6. Now I have naturally written them on top of each other in the correct columns, but I've also used my decimal point as that central point, okay? That is common in both of them. I'm going to use it to help me. Before I forget it, I'm even going to put it in the answer, okay? And then we've got 8 add 6. Now 8 add 6 is 14. Write down the unit, carry the 10 over to the next column to the left. 2 add 3 is 5, add the 1 is 6. So 2.8 add 3.6 equals 6.4. Okay, so that's a nice easy one. I've got the same amount of digits in both parts of the question. Here then, I have got 8.6 add 1.07. Use my decimal point to make sure that everything is in the correct columns, but you will see you've got a gap. Okay, now whenever you're adding or subtracting decimals, if you have a gap, put a 0 in there. Okay, we call it the place value holder. It holds it there. 8.6 is the same value as 8.60. Okay, you haven't changed the value, we just put that 0 as a place value holder. Now I'm just going to write my equal sign. Start on the right hand side. 0 add 7 is 7. 6 add 0 is 6. 8 add 1 is 9. What have I forgotten? Decimal point. You'll notice I put my decimal point in here first before I even did anything else. Maybe that might help you in order to help you not forget to put it in. Okay, so continuing with adding here then. I've got 37 as a whole number, add 0.67, so that's 3 tens, 7 units. I'm going to add, well, I've got 0 units here, and then 0.67. Now, we know after every whole number, there's that imaginary decimal point. You don't need to write it. I'm 32. I don't say I'm 32.0, just say 32. But we know it is there. So because I need the place value holders, I'm going to write it in. Again, the value hasn't changed. 37 is the same as 37.00. Write my equal sign. 0 add 7 is 7. 0 add 6 is 6. Decimal point. 7 add 0 is 7. 3 add 0 is 3. So 37 plus 0.67 is 37.67. If you've got squared paper, that might help you. You hear teachers nagging you all the time. Oh, 1 digit in each square. This is a prime example of why it's important. You need to make sure things are lined up correctly, otherwise your answer will be incorrect. So I've now got 0.04. I've got a lot of zeros here, but I'm going to use my decimal point to make sure everything is in line. I've got a 0 there, a 0 there, and a 7 there. Do I have any gaps? Yes, I do. Put a 0 in for my place value holder. Again, we are adding these together. Start on the right hand side. 0 add 7 is 7. 4 add 0 is 4. Obviously 0 add 0 is 0. Decimal point. 0 add 0 is 0. So therefore 0.04 add 0.007 would be 0.047. So that is addition. Okay, now let's have a look at subtraction. Again, we're going to use the column method. So I've got 7.8 subtract 1.2. I need to make sure I've used the column method correctly, that decimal point as my focal point. Right, with subtraction, we always make sure it's the top take away the bottom. This one's nice and easy. It's 8 take away 2, which is 6. decimal point, 7 take away 1 is 6. So 6.6. You'll notice with this one then, I have 5.7 subtract 1.9. This one is different because this digit here is slightly larger than the one above. Now I see all the time, people say, oh, 9 take away 7. No, stop right there. It's always top take away the bottom. That's the biggest tip I can give you for subtracting decimals. The decimal point in, let's do it first this time. 7 take away 9. But if I've got 7, I can't take away 9 unless it'll be a negative value. Therefore, I have to borrow from next door, which means I'm going to cross the 5 out to make it a 4 and borrow that 1 unit over there to make 17 tenths. Now 17 tenths is the same as 1.7. So I haven't changed any values as such. I've just used that to help me calculate 17 take away 9, which is 8. I've now got a 4 here. So I've got 4 take away 1 is 3. So 5.7 subtract 1.9 is 3.8. If you looked at that question and thought, I could do that, I do 9 take away 7 is 2, 5 take away 1 is 4, 4.2 is different to 3.8. Okay, so you know now, if the bottom number is bigger, you have to borrow from next door, otherwise your answer will be incorrect. Here now, I've got a whole number, subtract a decimal. So I've got 10 subtract 2.5. Now I know a 10 is 110 0 units, so I've used the units column to help me line up correctly. Place value holders. I don't even need that at the end there. I was going into money mode then. Decimal point in. 0 take away 5, can I do it? No. So I have to borrow from next door. But there's nothing there. So now I'm going to borrow next door again. Now, when we borrow from next door, that value can only go to the next column. It can't jump 2 in one go. We can do them separately, and that's what we're going to be doing now. I've now got 10. Cross the 10 out to make a 9, and bring the 1 over. So I've got 10 take away 5 is 5, 9 take away 2 is 7. So 10 subtract 2.5 is 7.5. Remember your place value holder. Last one. 20 subtract 17.82. Well, if it was just 17, I'd use the column method to put them in the correct order that way. If I've got 0.82 on the end, I need some place value holders. Now, this looks like a money question to me. That looks like I've got £20 and I've spent £17.82. It's that common question, calculate the change. Decimal point. Well, I can't do 0 take away 2. I can't borrow from here, I can't borrow from here. However, I'm going to borrow from here. 10 becomes a 9, then becomes a 10, which becomes a 9, which then becomes a 10. So I just borrowed 1 each time until I get to the column of where I need it. 10 take away 2 is 8, 9 take away 8 is, so I've got 7 then, is 1. 9 take away 7 is 2, 1 take away 1 is 0. Therefore, 20 take away 17.82 is 2.18. There is no pound sign here because technically it's not money. We could imagine it's money if it was a pound sign. Don't forget your pound sign with your answer. So add and subtracting decimals. Adding is nice and easy, but make sure you put them in the correct column first before you answer anything. When you get a subtraction, if the bottom number is bigger than the top number, as in the digit on the end, make sure you obviously put 0 as the place value and borrow from next door. Hope it helps.